There are many ways to go about styling fibers when working with fiber effects in Lightwave. I thought what we could do is take a look at styling inside of Layout, where we won't even go over to Modeler and build guides to work from there. We'll just use the guides that are built into Layout. So what I have is just a basic ball here. I'm just going to Control F8, and for Add Pixel Filter, Fiber Filter, double click to bring up the properties, and we'll select the ball and activate it. I'm going to go ahead and draw OpenGL display so that we can see what's going on back here. And I'm going to scale down. Let's do 250. Get a little bit of length on there. And then for the surface, I'm just going to choose the top part of the sphere. And in order to see that, I'm just going to right arrow, left arrow, just to update OpenGL here. And you can see that we've got our hair. But I want to start styling it because right now, the only style bit is coming from the gravity. 140% is default, and it's allowing the hair to start kind of sagging down. But there's really no combing going on. Now, what I could do is go into the texture editor of various attributes here, and using procedurals, image maps, or gradients, or a mixture of all of those, I could go in and start styling, and that's one way to go about it. I could go over to Modeler, build 2-point poly guides, and use that to style. But what I'd rather do is come over here to the Edit Guides, and let me go ahead and just close this window, and we'll just slide this over here. So with this, we can actually start brushing and styling our hair right inside of Lightwave. So these Lightwave layout. So these guides right here were not generated in Modeler; they're actually generated here, and it's showing the basic direction that the hair is coming out of the surface. So with the default brush type of push, I can just left click and start combing the hair down if I'd like. Okay, you can change the brush radius. I usually like to size it up a little bit. I'm going to go 50 just so I can cover more area. But if you want to really refine a certain area, you might want to bring the brush radius down. You can also change the strength. 50% seems to be a pretty good strength to work with by default. But you can always increase or decrease the strength of the hair of the brush. So what I can also do is change my brush mode from radius, which of course is this right here. I can change it to global, and now when I click and drag, it's going to globally affect all of the hairs. Okay. I can also go and change it to surface hug, and whenever I'm brushing, it's going to attempt to hug the surface of the geometry, which is really good for combing down on short hair that's going to ride the surface. Okay, I'm going to change that back to radius, and for my brush type, I'm going to change from push to scale. And what I can do is left click and start growing some of that hair. Okay, I can right click and shrink. I'm bringing in the scale on those. I'm going to just size some of this up so we can really see it when we go to display. So I'm just brushing over it. Instead of increasing my scale, I'm just holding over it longer. Let's change the brush type to straighten, and instead of combing it down, I'm going to straighten those out. Okay, just kind of straighten these, and single allows me to, for each one of these guides, I can just move one at a time. Now, I showed this to an artist recently, and they were like, wow, I would never want to do that. I would, why would I want to, that looks like it'd take too long to go and move each individual hair. Well, the idea is to get the basic style that you're looking for, and then as you're doing your test renders, if you see, well, I don't like what's going on right here, you can just tweak one area. So I've never gone about going and moving every single guide, but trust me, when you've got a CG supervisor or a director that is wanting to have full control over what the style is going to be, you're going to be thankful that you have this single setting. We go back to push. Just kind of adjust this. Let's go back to scale. I'm just going to scale some of this up. I'm going to take this side right here and really scale it up because I want you to see it in the render. So again, I'm doing all of this. I'm going to push it. I'm doing all of this in layout, which is really handy to be able to have this kind of control over the direction and the style that you want your hair to be, and including the scale. So I'm going to go ahead and close this down, come back to my window. And you can already see in OpenGL that I'm getting the I'm getting the length here. This was coming up. So let's do a render and see what we have. Okay, so you can see that I did a little bit of combing here. It's longer here, shorter here. We definitely made it longer here. You can see in OpenGL, and you can see on those guides. You can go back and edit the guides as many times as you want. You can keep going and doing tweaks. And for every cloned object here that you do, and you start building new things, you can have independent styling for each one of the clones. So you don't, it's not going to use the same guides, which is very powerful because I can go in and add another layer of fiber and style that slightly different. So again, this is just a quick look at using the edit guides inside of layout to have further control over the look of your fibers using Fiber Effects in Lightwave.